Hi, I'm Selena. Welcome to my first reading vlog. So I've tried filming reading vlogs before, but I was never really happy with how they turned out because I didn't really feel like reading vlogs. It didn't feel like it was documenting like my real life. And so we're being totally real. We have no makeup on. We have not gotten ready for this. This is my face and myself that is the self that exists when I'm not filming YouTube videos, I guess. And so I wanted to talk to you about the few books that I have started at this point at the beginning of this first reading vlog. The Queer Blackathon, hosted by several booktubers, Francina Simone, Bowties and Books. I can't remember what Mayana's channel name is. I think it's just Mayana Reads or Mayana C Reads. And the novel Lush. So that is going on right now, and I have started things, I've read things, but it's not honestly been going very well because I am distracted, something, I don't really know what I am. I'm something. Is that window annoying? Maybe. We'll see. But I'm going to talk to you about the couple things that I've started. One of them is not a queer book because I was meant to read it last week and I didn't want to put it off any further, but 3 of the books are queer. So the first book that I have started for this week is Officer Clemens by Francois Scarborough Clemens. This is the first Black gay man to make it onto children's daytime television, I believe, and he was on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I never watched Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood growing up, but I am really interested in this biography. It's not biography. I keep calling memoirs biographies, and they're just not. They're not biographies, Selena. But this actually is kind of part biography because he pitched it in his introduction as a biography, or at least something to give you some perspective on the real Mr. Rogers. But it's also going into a lot of his life, so it's got a lot of memoir. It feels more like a memoir to me because this is his story. You will get some of Mr. Rogers from it. That's what he intended, but this is Francois Clemens' story. And it is written. So here's the thing. As a rule, I don't rate nonfiction. Just because nonfiction, I don't really ever enjoy nonfiction the same way I do fiction. It's just not really my type of reading that I do for enjoyment. And I'm enjoying this one thoroughly. This might be the exception to my I don't rate nonfiction books because it is just written in such a way that is amazing. I highly recommend the audiobook if you like audiobooks because it is narrated by Francois Clemens himself, and I always like that. I always love to hear the story or the memoir in the author's own voice. It's one of my favorite things about Neil Gaiman's audiobooks, for example, and Francois Clemens. He has a background in theater, and so he can just command an audiobook. And he really commands this one. I love it. I think that it is so beautifully narrated, beautifully written. It feels like he is telling us, he's letting us into his family stories, and that is what he's doing in a lot of ways. And I think that it's just, I'm so grateful that he has written this and allowed us into his life. He's being very vulnerable with this memoir, and I love that I can feel that. I love how vulnerable this book is, and I'm gonna be reading it slowly. I won't be finishing it in 48 hours. I never finish books in 48 hours on a regular basis, and so it's gonna be a miracle if I finish one of these books in 48 hours. But I don't know. I'm just really excited about it. I'm loving that memoir so far. And then the next book that I picked up is also an audiobook, and I didn't even plan on picking this one up, but I requested for my library to get this audiobook because I don't really read ebooks, but I read audiobooks, and the library isn't really running at its full capacity right now, obviously. So the book that I requested and that came in super earlier than I was expecting is You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. This is, I'm barely into this because I've been not listening to audiobooks too much this summer because like I usually would listen to them when I was like doing things, and I have a lot less to be doing now. I am already really liking our main character of this. The main character, Liv, has a lot of personality, and she's very quiet and kind of like, I guess, awkward. She's very shy. She doesn't really like attention. And I relate to that a lot. Like, even though I post YouTube videos, it's something that makes me very insecure, and I'm actually quite shy in real life. Like, I want to talk to books about people. What? I want to talk to people about books, but like, I'm also really uncomfortable with attention. And so I really relate to that in her. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm only like 2 chapters in or something, but I hope to read a lot more tonight, and I'm excited. I'm really happy that I got to add this to my TBR. And then the last book that I've picked up for Queer Blackathon is Meet Cute Club by Jack Harbin. And this book is so cute. Like, here's the thing. I'm not a romance reader, and to be honest, I'm not that invested in the romance between these two guys yet, but I am invested in the two guys that this follows, Jordan and Rex. And I'm very interested in their individual stories and how they'll come together, but like, I'm only like that far in, like 50 pages in, and so I'm not invested in the romance yet. However, I really like the book. I think it's adorable. It has a lot about reading and loving books, and it's kind of, in many ways, feels like a love letter to the romance genre, which I think is just so sweet and so fun to read about, and I'm loving it so far. And then the last book I wanted to mention just really quickly is Daughters of Enri. I am only a chapter in. I am loving it already. Oh my gosh, this first chapter blew me away. I've already recommended it to people. Like, right now this is a 5-star prediction. Like, I am all in, and I cannot wait to read more as soon as I finish this vlog clip. I'll see you later in the week for updates on what I think of these books and how my reading's going. Okay, so this isn't quite a midweek check-in, more like a Tuesday check-in, not a Wednesday check-in. It's Tuesday the something. I'll put it on the screen. And I'm here to talk to you about the books that I finished so far this week. So last time we talked, it was the Queer Blackathon, which I did participate in, and the book that I finished for that, oh my gosh, we're going all sideways. The book that I finished for that was Meet Cute Club by Jack Harbin. I did finish this book. I did give it 4.5 stars. I thought it was really cute. I'm really happy with this book. It was just as cute as I thought it was going to be. I highly recommend it. I really especially like the ending of this book. It had one of the cutest, and most thoughtful, big grand gestures, and so I really like that about it. I'm going to be sending it to my boyfriend, and he's going to read it because he loves romance, and this was really good. And then the next thing I finished is actually a book that I've been working on for like a month now, and it's an anthology of Brandon Sanderson's short stories in the Cosmere. And of course, I'm talking about Arcanum Unbounded. I finished the last 2 things I had to read in this, and those were Six of the Dusk and Edge Dancer. I really enjoyed Edge Dancer. I thought Six of Dusk was okay. It was a 3-star. I really flew through Edge Dancer in a day, and I really liked it. It's a fun novella about Lift. It takes place between Words of Radiance and Oathbringer in the Stormlight Archive. I thought it was really cute and fun, and I enjoyed it. And then the other books I need to go over here and grab. First of those books I actually have on audio. I am about over halfway through this book. It's You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. I really am enjoying this book a lot. I think I'm going to give it like 5 stars or something, which I'm super excited about. I'm loving it so much. It's so adorable. So I moved locations because I'm lazy and want to sit down. You Should See Me in a Crown is really cute. I love being able to see girls who like girls just be able to be like sweet and cute and not like have sorts of like, not be sexualized or not be like melodramatic. Like it feels like they have chemistry, and it just feels really nice and sweet and adorable, and I'm really liking it so far. I'm probably going to finish it really soon because I really like it. I'm definitely going to finish it by the end of the week. When I finished Arcanum About It, I actually picked up my next physical book, and that is I Capture the Castle by Jodie Smith. I'm like only like one chapter in, so I only have first impressions to give you. It's really sweet so far. The narrator has a really strong voice. I can see why everyone raves about this narrator. This is a classic that not many people have heard of, and it's written kind of like a YA book, and I'm really interested in it. I really like it. And then I also haven't made too much progress on Daughters of Enri because I just really want to like savor this book because I'm loving it so much, and it's hard for me to read like multiple books that I love at a time. I don't know. Sometimes I'm weird like that. So I'm like 50 pages in. I'm still loving it. Still think it's just breathtaking and gorgeous. The writing is amazing. It's just really good. I'm still waiting for like, I don't know what the plot or the point of this book is going to be. And I feel like I'm still waiting for it to start a little bit, but we're already taking really unique directions with it, and I really like that about it. And then I haven't gotten any farther in Officer Clemens because I'm trying to focus on books that I have to return to the library sooner. First, that was Arcanum Unbounded, and now it is You Should See Me in a Crown. So I will be reading that one pretty slowly as I go through the rest of the month, and as I will probably continue past this month, the end of this month probably, because I only have a few days left in the month, or like a week left. Whatever. Okay. That was a Tuesday check-in. I will check in with you in a few days. Hi, so I realized I need to wrap up my first ever weekly reading vlog, and that's what I'm gonna do. Before we do that though, I think I want to show you guys a little bit of an unhaul. Story is, I recently unhauled a bunch of books on my channel, and now I have more to unhaul because I can't stop getting rid of books. Basically, a lot of my books are used and they smell and they aggravate my allergies, and I wanted to like weed out some of the ones of those I didn't want. So I'm not sure if any of these are like actually being unhauled, but I have a couple things that I might be getting rid of, such as Adventures of Huckleberry Finn in this copy. I don't know, I kind of like this copy, but I also don't really like Huck Finn. So Fault in Our Stars, this is my sister's. She has only kept it because she used to write reports on it. I did not like that book, and it's all sticky and gross, so we're gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna get rid of my copies of The Inheritance Cycle because I just didn't really like book 1, and I don't have like, I was supposed to read them this summer, but I don't have the desire. So I feel like if I want to, I'll just get, I don't know, I'll get like others, I guess, or I'll just listen to them on audiobook. I'll get them from the library, something else. That was my couple additions onto my unhaul. I'm not sure if they'll stay in the unhaul, but they're there for now. So I don't remember where we were and what I was reading during my last update at all. I'm still reading Officer Clemens. I haven't made much progress in it. Same with Daughters of Enri. I'm almost halfway through, but not quite. I really like them. It's just that I'm bad at reading. So I'm also not very far into I Couch the Castle, maybe like 100 pages in, 125, something like that. They're both really good. I've just not been feeling great, and so I haven't read much. I have, however, also started A Conjuring of Light. This is my book pick of the month where I wanted to get books off of my TBR that I've had for a long time. This is the one I picked to read or get rid of this month, and it's not going well, as you can see. It's already had like, this is, in this series, we've already had like 3 instances of tropes that I hate, or this one trope that I hate, and it just happened again in the beginning of this book, and I hate it. And then the next book that I picked up because I'm wild apparently is an audiobook, and that is Ender's Game. I read Ender's Game when I was like 14, and I didn't really like it, and I'm retrying it because I'm reading it with one of my friends named Udi, and it's not going so well. Basically, already so far there's been like a really sexist comment, and I can't figure out whether it's the character being sexist or it's just Orson Scott Card being sexist and putting it in his book. The world may never know, but that's definitely what I'm dealing with that one. I don't know if I said this, but I finished You Should See Me in a Crown, and that was great. I loved it. It was perfect. It was amazing, and I have no complaints whatsoever. Whoops, my hand. I don't know how to hold cameras. But yeah, I think that is my last update for this weekly vlog. I will see you in my next vlog and in my next video, and thanks for watching my first reading vlog. Bye.